This month, the way you pay for AI in your code editor quietly changed, and most developers have not felt it yet. GitHub Copilot moved to usage-based billing. Apple turned Xcode into an agent workbench with models from Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI wired straight in. The flat monthly fee era is ending, and a metered one is taking its place. I build AI products for a living, so let me tell you what this actually means for your wallet, your team. Here is what changed, stripped of the press release language. For 2 years, AI coding tools were sold the way gym memberships are sold. One flat price, use it as much as you want. That was great for you and quietly terrible for the vendors because the heaviest users cost them far more than they paid. As of June 1st, GitHub Copilot switched to AI credits, where 1 credit is 1 cent, and you consume credits based on tokens, not a fixed number of requests. Around the same time, Xcode started shipping with agents from 3 different labs built directly into the editor. Put those two together and the picture is clear. AI in your editor is no longer a flat subscription. It is a meter, and the meter runs faster the more the model thinks. And do not miss what Apple did, because it is a preview of where all of this goes. That sounds like a convenience, and it is, but look at the structure. The decision of which model runs which task is now a cost decision you are making dozens of times a day, whether you think about it or not. Most developers will just pick the one that feels smartest and never look back. The teams that pay attention will benchmark them on their own work and route deliberately, and they will pay a fraction of what the default crowd pays for the exact same output. Now, because the cost driver just changed in a way most people have not internalized. Under the old model, a request was a request. Under token billing, the price of a task depends on how much the model reads and writes to do it. And here's the part that catches teams off guard. The move to agents makes this dramatically worse. A simple autocomplete is cheap. But an agent that reads your whole repository, plans, calls tools, runs your tests, reads the errors, and tries again, that agent can burn through tokens like nothing you have seen, because every step in that loop rereads context. One agent run on a real task can cost more than 100 autocompletes. The demos never show you the token counter. I am telling you to watch it. Let me make this concrete, because vague warnings are useless. Say an agent task pulls in 50,000 tokens of context, thinks for a few steps, and does that across a few hundred agent invocations a day for one engineer. You are now in the millions of tokens per developer per day. Multiply by a team of 10, multiply by 20 working days, and the bill stops being a rounding error and starts being a line item someone in finance asks about. None of this is a reason to panic. It is a reason to measure. The teams that get burned are the ones who turned on agent autopilot, told everyone to use it freely, and did not look at consumption until the invoice arrived. Here is a cost nobody warns you about. You pay for the failures too. When an agent takes a real task and gets it wrong, it does not get wrong for free. It read the context, it thought, it generated, it ran the tests, it read the errors, and every one of those steps was metered. A failed agent run can cost as much as a successful one, sometimes more, because failure usually means more retries. So your real cost per ship change is not the cost of the good runs, it is the cost of the good runs plus all the dead ends. If a tool succeeds 2 times out of 3, your effective price per result is 50% higher than the sticker, and no dashboard labels it that way. This is exactly why per step reliability. An unreliable agent is not just frustrating, it is expensive twice. And there is a category of this that worries me more than the editor. Agents running unattended in your pipelines. It is one thing for a developer to fire an agent and watch it. It is another to wire agents into continuous integration, into automated code review, into bots that triage issues overnight while everyone is asleep. Those run without a human watching the meter at machine speed, and a single misconfigured loop can run up a bill in an hour that would take a person all week to generate. If you are putting agents into automation, the budget cap is not optional. It is the only thing standing between you and a very uncomfortable meeting. Set hard limits on anything that runs without a human in the loop, always. Now here is the part where I will surprise you. Flat pricing was always a fiction held up by the light users subsidizing the heavy ones. Metered pricing means you pay for what you use, which means a small team that uses AI surgically pays less than they did before, and a team running agents around the clock pays what that actually costs. That is fair. The problem is not the meter. The problem is using a metered resource as if it were still flat. The fix is not to avoid these tools. So what would I actually do today if I ran a team on these tools? 4 things. First, turn on spending limits and per seat budgets before you roll anything out. Every one of these platforms lets you cap consumption. Set the cap, then raise it deliberately, not the other way around. Second, route by task. Do not send a trivial rename through a frontier agent that rereads your entire code base. Use the cheap, fast model for the 90% that is simple, and reserve the expensive agent for the genuinely hard problems where it earns its tokens. Third, measure per developer consumption weekly, not monthly. Monthly is how you find out too late. Weekly is how you catch the one engineer who left an agent running in a loop. Fourth, cache and constrained context. Half the token cost in agent workflows is rereading the same files over and over. Point the tool at the right files instead of the whole repo, and you can cut your bill in half without cutting any value. One more practical thing, because people ask, how do you even estimate this before you commit? You pilot it. Take 3 or 4 engineers, turn the tools on with generous but capped budgets, and just measure for 2 weeks. Tokens per developer per day, cost per shipped change where the spend concentrates. Then you multiply by the team and you have a real number to take to whoever signs the checks instead of a guess. 2 weeks of measurement beats 2 quarters of surprise. And step back, because this is bigger than one billing change. Agent software spending is projected to hit around $200 billion this year, up well over 100% from last year. The whole industry is betting that agents are the product, and agents are by their nature token hungry. So this metered shift is not a quirk of one update. It is the financial shape of the agent era arriving. Every tool that gives an agent the keys is going to bill you for how far it drives. Let me name the specific trap, because I have watched smart teams walk into it. Leadership reads that agents make developers faster. They buy seats for everyone and say, use it as much as you can. Usage explodes because of course it does, you told them to. And 3 months in, someone looks at a number, panics, and bans the tools entirely. Now you have the worst of both worlds. You paid for the spike and you killed the upside. The way you avoid that whole arc is boring, and it works. Start with limits, measure from day one, and expand based on evidence. Boring beats banned, so here is my verdict. The shift to metered AI billing is not a cash grab. It is the real price of the agent era finally showing up on the invoice. Yes, every day with spending caps, task routing, and a weekly look at consumption. Would I roll them out to a team uncapped and unmonitored? Absolutely not. That is not adoption, that is a liability with a subscription. Read the meter, route your tasks, set your limits, and these tools are some of the best money you will spend. Ignore all that and the bill will teach you the lesson anyway, just more expensively. There is also an escape hatch the vendors will not advertise. You do not have to meter everything through someone else's cloud. The open models you can run on your own hardware have gotten good enough that, for a large share of everyday coding tasks, they are a genuine option, and the marginal cost of running them is electricity, not tokens. I am not saying replace your frontier agent with a local model. I am saying the smart setup is a portfolio. Run the cheap, high-volume, privacy-sensitive work locally where each call is effectively free, and spend your metered budget only on the hard problems where a frontier model actually earns it. The teams that pair a local tier with a metered cloud tier get most of the benefit at a fraction of the bill, and they keep their code on their own machines while they are at it. And one more thing about that in editor marketplace, because it changes how you should think about lock-in. When 3 labs compete inside your editor, switching costs drop, and that is leverage you should actually use. Do not marry one provider. Keep your prompts and your workflows portable. Benchmark the models against each other on your real tasks every few months, and route to whichever one gives you the best result per dollar that quarter. The moment you treat these models as interchangeable parts instead of a religion. If you want the no-hype version of what the AI industry's moves actually mean for the people who build and pay for this stuff, that is the whole point of this channel. New teardown every few days. I will see you in the next one.